you said that just 2.5 years back, COVID started,
Mhm.
and then you were complete zero in your English. Is it? By then you were complete zero, and within 2.5 years you have gained this level. Is it
Yes, it's absolutely
really?
right. As I told, yes, absolutely right.
Hello, Ashutosh sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you so much for asking. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Same as you. Mediocre life with a busy schedule. And thankfully, I found time for both of us to spare here and give some valuable and remarkable piece of tips and tricks in a proficient manner, in a professional way. So, before we begin, let me introduce you to my audience. He is someone who was not from English medium school. He has learned English with his regular practice, and today I'm going to ask him how he learned, how he practiced every day, what were the problems he faced. The best part about you is you were not from English medium school. Maximum of them, when they are learning, the moment they hear that this person is from English medium, oh, that's the reason you learned English. Yeah, I know it. I know it. It's very easy for English medium students to easily recall their sentences, practice each day. And I understand this is somewhere a privilege for students who are educated from English medium. So, sir, I want to know first of all your educational background. That's the most important thing. And later, maybe audience will be interested in hearing us.
Yeah, exactly as you introduced me. So, thank you so much for a wonderful introduction first. If you're talking about my educational background, as you said, this was totally right. As I born and raised in a small village of like Uttar Pradesh, so I had a very like typical, I can say that the background where the people they used to speak Hindi most of the time. I had no one to whom I can talk in English, and even though I was not crazy for English, though, in the childhood I was okay with my Hindi, whatever it was. Then after I just, I have completed my studies from Navodaya, but it was also the completely like Hindi background. Nobody was curious to speak in English. Whatever we were doing, we were trying to get the good marks in the subjects. That's it. That's all. Whatever the English we were studying, that was limited to the marks only, not for the speaking. There was no craze for the speaking. So that's why I was not into it. But it has been like, my life got changed from the COVID-19 2.5 years ago. I was totally and completely different. I was not able to introduce myself in English as well. I
Okay.
used to feel proud introducing myself in Hindi only.
Huh.
I used to think I
Huh.
born and raised in UP, so why I should speak English? I'm okay that if I'm promoting Hindi, just in future. So that's what the mindset I had. But after that, I started working on it. So before that, it was completely different. So there is no relation. If you are talking about your watchers and the students, so I would like to suggest to them, it depends on your mindset, it depends on your dedication, it depends on your efforts, and you can become better. It doesn't make a sense that if you are saying that if a person is coming from Hindi background, oh, I can't even think about speaking English. That's not the case. It is all about your efforts. So I came from a Hindi background where I used to study everything in Hindi, and I used to listen. Teachers were also, whenever the teachers, they were just trying to teach in English, my classmates, they used to say, sir, please just teach us in Hindi only. I had an English teacher, and she came in the first time in the class, and she started teaching in English a bit, right? But my classmates, they were like, what is happening, like what she is teaching, like that. And this,
Huh.
from the second day, my classmates, they requested, ma'am, please, we are not going to understand anything if you are going to teach in that way. Then from the next day onwards, he started teaching us in Hindi completely. So that was the case. So that's what the answer I will say about my educational background. It was completely Hindi. But just don't be negative, try to be positive. Doesn't matter which background you come from, but it depends on your efforts, because this is a skill and anybody can learn it.
All right. And then you said that just 2.5 years back, COVID started,
Mhm.
and then you were complete zero in your English. Is it? By then you were complete zero, and within 2.5 years you have gained this level. Is it?
Yes, it's absolutely
Really?
right. As I told, yes, absolutely right. As I said to you that I was a good student in English subject. My English was limited to the marks. Okay, I wanted to get the good marks. That's it. But when it comes to speaking, no way. I was not even thinking about it that I would speak English in future. So within 2.5 years, I just learned a lot, and now I'm into profession where I can help others to speak better English. Yes, you're
Lovely.
absolutely right, whatever you said. Yes.
This is lovely. And here comes the main point that anyone who is willing to invest at least 2.5 years, like you did, they can get from zero to whatever level you are today. Really. Now the
Exactly.
most important question for the day. And the last question I feel, how did you practice? Within
That
2.5
is very
years, who
interesting thing.
helped you?
Yeah, that is very interesting question, and all the people who just would like to be better in communication, they would like to know that. So I must say that it has been only 2.5 years. I feel that I have done a lot of improvement, but there is a long way to go. But when it comes to the practice, I started practicing from the first day. That was 29th of April 2020. That was my first day when I came up with the thought of just working on my communication skills. But I was too crazy. As I told you that I was good in subject, but I thought that I'll have to speak English because I would like to speak, and I would like to become better in speaking. So I started speaking English from my first day onwards. Maybe the people, they wouldn't believe that how it can be happen that anybody can just take a step and just start speaking from the first day if he doesn't know anything about this in English, right, in speaking. But I took that step and I started speaking on buddy talk. But I was too crazy, and I was just very tense to listen the COVID. So I thought of practicing English to come out from that fear and just enjoy. Let's enjoy and explore something. So
Yeah.
from the first day, I started practicing on buddy talk, and I used to do practice 5 hours, 6 hours. You wouldn't believe. And along
Every
with
day.
that, what every day, yes, every day.
Buddy
And
Talk
what
is an
I
app? Is it an app?
Yes, Putty
Free
Talk.
of
Yeah,
cost?
nowadays they named it, yes, free of cost, Open Talk. So I used that application in the beginning of my journey. A lot of beginners were there. Just, I used to communicate with them, and I used to feel confident because they're just, they were also beginners. So I used to feel very nice that I'm able to speak, even
Uh,
though little bit.
uh,
So, and along with that, what I was doing, I was watching videos on YouTube, how to talk to strangers and how to communicate with others, which kind of topic I should discuss with someone who is totally and completely unknown to me. And
yes.
along with that, I used to go and Google and search this kind of things. So I was doing everything. I was surfing everything related to speaking, and I was doing the practice as well. That was the one of the most important part because I was practicing from the first day. And what I used to do, I was not able to understand sometimes their question, but what I was doing, I was listening their question properly. I was noting down in my notebook, and I was asking same question to another speaker. Okay. That's
Another.
how I was getting the answer, right?
Okay.
Like if you are
Okay.
asking something to me, but if I'm
Interesting.
not able to understand that, so I will
Uh,
note down in my just notebook and I will ask the same question to another person. If he will
oh,
answer, then I will understand, yes, that is
yes.
the like answer of this question.
Correct.
Sometimes, like there was a one question, like one person asked me, how just what do you do for your living? And I was
Uh,
quite confused. What
uh,
do I do for my living? I just eat food. That's it.
yes.
And that
Yes.
was
Yes. Correct.
completely funny. I thought
That's
like I'm
actually a
eating
logical
food.
answer. This is a
Yes,
logical answer
exactly.
if you understand the meaning.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you just understand by word, then after I asked the same questions to another person, then he
Uh,
said that he is just engineer or whatever the profession he
uh,
was in.
uh,
Then I
uh,
understood. Oh my goodness, what a like interesting question. I'll have to just tell that what I do for my living. That I'm a
uh,
student by profession.
uh,
That's what the
uh,
right answer. So that's how I just started giving answers of the like very basic questions, introductional questions. And along with that, I was just following a lot of I started following more than 100 YouTubers. Okay, I
okay.
kept all the Hindi YouTube channel aside, and I
Uh,
started following all the YouTubers who used to speak in English. I started listening to Sadhguru, Gaur Gopal Das, Jay
yes.
Sethi, Ranveer
Yes.
Alavadia.
Yes.
Priyanka Chopra, Steve Harvey,
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
interesting people. I was not able to understand them from the beginning because this was so difficult, right? Their accent was different and their was level was really stupendous. So it was difficult, but I was trying to understand them and I was very positive and I was really motivated that yes, practice makes progress.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was afraid that would I be able to become a good speaker or not? Whatever am I doing, this is right or not? I was
Hmm.
also having this kind of confusion in my mind. I'm just taking a completely a risk, not focusing on my subjects like accounting
Okay.
and economics, and taking
Oh.
a risk and giving the whole time to the communication. Would it be worth it in the future or not? So I was also having this kind of whole question in my mind. And the COVID was a pathetic time, but I was having one thing in my mind that yes, practice makes progress. If you are going to do something, for sure it is going to give you a wonderful result. So I started following and I started practicing 5 hours, 6 hours every day. And I started doing all those things, watching, listening. That's how I improved myself. And till now, maybe just I have completed more than like 10 to 15,000 conversations one on one over the audio, over the applications.
Okay.
Like, mhm.
Okay. Okay. That's a remarkable strategy, which you show that practicing for 7 to 8 hours regularly can be impeccable, really.
Yeah, why not? And I used to think if a person can work 10 hours for somebody else, why I can't work for myself for 7 to 8 hours? That is the
That's the
mindset the
spirit.
people they are not having, you know?
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
mhm,
Correct, correct. This is something to be noted that we work for someone else as an employee just for a pocket full of money.
mhm,
For
mhm.
them, we work. Why can't we work for ourselves? We are not getting money, but we are developing our skills. We are developing a communication, be it anything, not just English,
Yeah.
be it anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Mhm.
And one thing I have noticed in your communication is you are quite confident. That's the magic. That's the magic, which I tell my students all the time. That although you make mistakes, mistakes are common. Nobody has come perfect here. All of us are learning. Okay. But
Yes.
anyone who expresses confidence or radiates that through his face and expressions, that will conceal all the barriers, all the hidden inequalities which you have in terms of your language, communication, or anything. But be confident. That's the magic
Yeah,
of
exactly. Yeah, thank you. That's very important thing I say just whenever, even though I know very well it has been 2.5 years, and but I do commit mistakes. What I do say to myself for the sympathy that I'm not the native speaker at all, and it's okay to do just but it's okay to commit mistakes. Okay, but I'm trying to learn. I'm having just that the attitude I can just go really far away in this journey. So I should listen and consume a lot of stuff in English so I can get better day by day. So this kind of things I say to also just people that be confident. Try to be confident enough that you are not able to speak one language, you are able to speak two languages. First one is your native language and second one is English. So you are far
yes,
far better than the people who are able to speak only a single language
yes,
and they learned by their environment. So you are far
yes,
far better than them. Mhm.
yes, yes. And for my audience who all are feeling that, how am I able to recognize the confidence from this person's face? It's just by the voice modulation. How loud, with how much pauses, and how clear with your eye gestures, eye contact. If
Yes.
you have these things very nicely expressed through your communication, you will sound confident automatically. That is it.
Yes, exactly. Right.
I hope that my people have got the answer, and I don't have any other question as of now. But if really people come up with something else they want to ask you, I request all of them to write down here in the comment section. We are here to answer all of them. And if not me, so will answer you definitely. I hope.
Yes, for sure. Why not? I'll try my
Okay.
level best for that.
Okay. Okay. And anyone who wishes to know more about him, please do visit his channel. I shall mention your channel's link in my description box. And also, I shall mention it in the title so that
Mhm.
anyone who feels to know you more personally would go and visit your channel and get connected with you easily. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, and many, many thanks to you for your precious time. Thank you.
Thank you for coming here and expressing your thoughts. I feel that was more valuable. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you once again if possible. Okay?
Yes, for sure. Thank you. Bye. Take
Yeah.
care.